Welcome everyone. It's the Darkstream, Vox Day, voxday.blogspot.com, and Infogalactic News. It's Saturday. Been busy today. Hope you're doing well. I'm just here editing. Doing what we do at Castalia House, which is thanks, which is having a good time, making things happen. We don't stop. I was kind of impressed. There's a couple fake reviews, fake attack reviews, posted on Amazon today. There was a guy, David. He was attacking my book, SJW's Lie. He was attacking my new book, Collected Columns Volume 1. And he was also attacking Ivanka Trump and her perfume. And, I was very disappointed with my vile, faceless minions. You have these savage beasts who are sworn to mindlessly obey you. And you expect that just because it happens to be, 5 in the morning their time, 6 in the morning their time, you would think that they would be ready, willing, and able to immediately obey their Dark Lord. And yet, it took them 3 hours and 27 minutes to identify this individual and provide me with his full details. Very disappointing. The previous time it took them 57 minutes. That's still a little slow, but it's okay. So anyhow, Malwin will be of course rectifying matters, and so and I do think I did send Mr. Bircher an email explaining that if he was dissatisfied with Castalia House's books, we did not want a customer to be dissatisfied, and so I offered him 2 books. We don't we don't need his IP. We have everything. His place of employment, the fact that he graduated from Clemson. We have everything. I even have his phone number. So anyhow, I didn't call him like the previous guy. The previous guy, I actually called him at L'Oreal, and he was absolutely shocked. So you can't always record, folks. You have to pay attention to whether what the recording laws are. Some places are single party permission, others are dual party permission. Now, it was kind of funny. Somebody actually put in the comments, "This is doxing." We're like, really? Gee, we had no idea. I've been doxing people who do fake reviews on Amazon for longer than Castalia House has existed. The first time it happened, there was a woman who was actually in Minnesota claiming to have read A Throne of Bones. This was literally like the second day that it came out. And we knew that she hadn't because it wasn't available in ebook. And only, I think, 20 or 30 copies had been shipped out. And none of them had been shipped to Minnesota. And so, anyhow, this is something that the SJWs do. They do fake reviews, they do attack reviews, they pretend that they've read things that they haven't. And, it's true, I have no respect for them. I have no concern for them whatsoever. They invite these reprisals upon themselves. It's very, very simple. I have people attempting to out me. I've had people attempting to out me ever since my first columns in 2001. And so, I understand that everything that I do online is going to be potentially distributed to everyone. So, everything from your phone calls, your conversations with people, your favorite porn habits, whatever, all of that stuff is subject to being released at some point in time. You can't trust Google. You can't trust anybody. Well, yeah, the funny thing about people outing me, of course, is that my name, Vox Day, is a play on words. And if you follow the Latin into Greek, all it means is voice of Theo. It's always been a joke. And so that's why I always thought it was funny when people do the, Vox Day, real name, and then in parentheses. And the thing that's so absurd, and the reason that you know that they are doing it in an attempt to harm you somehow, is that you never see, the reporters you see doing that never do it to Bono. You never see them saying, Bono, real name, Paul Hewson. You never see them do it to, Lady Gaga. None of those people, you don't see them do it to Ice Cube or whatever. None of those people are using their real names. None of those people are using their actual names. Do I have certain habits to get around or minimize surveillance? Not really. My attitude is more just flood them. I have a couple. I'm an extension on my browser that basically spends the entire time, surfing all over various different sites and sending that information out. So, if they want to, if they want to, yes, I would love to be able to say, I am purer than snow. I don't remember what it's called. I've had it for years. It was on Firefox though. But I always thought that one of the most effective responses that I've ever seen anybody do is the way that Mercedes Carrera deals with Twitter critics. Who there's a guy who is trying to get on her case around the time of Gamergate, and kept calling her a whore. And so she responded by basically saying, have some porn. And every time he emailed her, or every time he tweeted at her, he would get back 4 or 5 images of her being impaled or penetrated in various ways. And he was finally begging her to stop. Because, of course, maybe he's at work or something. And there's Mercedes! So, now, obviously, that's not a tactic that's going to work for me. It's not a tactic that's going to work for everyone. But it was pretty damn funny. And very effective. So, but the point is that they're going to do it. They're going to do it, get used to it. But here's the thing. They are not accustomed to dealing with it themselves. They think that they can get away with it. They think they're safe. They think they're protected. And so one of the reasons that we do this, the VFM and I, is that we're making it very clear that they are not safe. Their activities are not going to remain hidden. We will make sure that their friends and their family and their work and everybody else knows about it. And so if they want to play that game, fine. But what we're doing is out in the open. What we're doing is not hidden. And so, if they're comfortable with that, fine. But most, almost none of them are. If they were, I'm not talking about negative reviews. I'm not talking about, there's plenty of people who, don't like one of my books. They don't like one of the Castelia books for perfectly good, perfectly legitimate reasons. I wouldn't dream of even complaining about it. But the point is, they're lying. The point is, they're dishonest. And that's getting us back to the point now of the title and the God Emperor's War on the media. he is doing the right thing. In fact, I think he's actually kind of soft pedaling it. I think that he is unnecessarily giving them the opportunity to back up and to take a step back and behave honestly, but they can't and they won't. And so there's no point in it. There's absolutely, the only point in it is to demonstrate who's Supreme Dark Lord? The Supreme Dark Lord of the evil Legion of Evil. And so the thing that Trump is doing, I think he's being moderate in order to make sure that other people are unable to criticize him for it. He's being reasonable. He's basically saying, hey, I'm giving you a chance to step back. I'm giving you a chance to not produce fake news. I'm giving you a chance to just be fair, to just report things honestly. And they're not doing it. And so that gives him permission in the moderate size to take the steps that he is taking. I also think that, he is old enough to still remember when the media was prestigious. The whole trusted Walter Cronkite sort of thing. But the point is that there's no reason to give the media any chance other than your optics. Yeah, and that's what I meant by the fact that he has announced that he is not going to attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner is an open declaration of war on the media. I think what we're going to see is more steps being taken. The way that he said that the way that they canceled the open briefing and then held a private briefing and then refused to let the BBC and CNN and some of the worst culprits attend, BuzzFeed and so forth, that was a serious warning shot. That was more of a warning shot. Canceling the correspondence dinner, to me, indicates that the White House and the administration are going to increase their bypassing of the opposition media. They're going to start treating the media like the enemy that they are. They're going to start treating the journalists like the unpaid Democratic Party activists they are. And he's going to demonstrate to the American people how completely unnecessary they are. They are unnecessary. And so, it's always very important. The big mistake that Republicans have made for so long. I'm not making any excuses for the God Emperor. He's doing excuses. There's no need to make excuses. I want him to see people people like you, and send you back. You have to go back. You don't belong in the USA. It's not your country. And so, deal with it. There's no need to make excuses for Donald Trump. He's the God Emperor. He is going to war with you people. And by people, I'm, of course, being very generous and expansive in my definition, because I have no use for you whatsoever. There is no place for you in Western civilized society. So, stand what you want, like what you want, it doesn't matter. There's no place for you. You have to go back. So, because that's what making America great again means. Making America great again means making America America again. And you guys are right. The New York Times is going to double down. Of course they're going to double down. And there is no chance that the God Emperor doesn't know that. There is no chance that Steve Bannon doesn't know that. We all know that, because that's what they do. And so, I wish I had SJW's Always Double Down done already, because I would love to be able to publish it on Monday. Unfortunately, we're not publishing that on Monday. We're actually publishing a really cool Japanese murder mystery called 6 Expressions of Death it's Mojo Mori's debut novel. Hope you guys will check it out. I'll probably talk about it a little bit more on Monday night when we release it. But and then we're also going to be announcing a very big science fiction novel the following Monday. I don't read Japanese. I did read a little bit. Here's one of my old textbooks, reading Japanese. But I think I learned at my peak, I knew 200 kana, and you need to know about 3,000 to even be like kitty literate, and so it's hopeless. I did actually speak decent Japanese for a while, but it's been 25 years. So The Missionaries is a wonderful book. You're gonna absolutely love The Missionaries. Honestly, I think that's probably the novel that I'm proudest of Castalia Publishing. It's a wonderful, wonderful novel, really funny, and frankly, I think I probably deserve some kind of award for successfully talking Owen Stanley into writing another novel, which he's doing right now. And it's going to be brilliant, and it's going to be hilarious, and it's going to be amazing. He's a brilliant man, and yes, we are working on an audiobook for The Missionaries. The next audiobooks to come out are I'm not there. What are you talking about? I'm making your upgrade again, baby. So anyhow, so we've got a lot of, Some Wither just came out. Some Wither is 22 hours and 9 minutes. So if you want a really long, audiobook, that's a good choice. We're hoping to eventually get to doing a Throne of Bones and a Sea of Skulls and Summa Helvetica, which collectively are already longer than the entire Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So, we've got a lot to do, and we've got a lot more great stuff coming out. I don't know if you guys have been following Nick Cole's project, but we're actually reviving Riding the Red Horse, and it's going to be the California Secession stories, and there's a bunch of really great authors that are involved in that. Nick and Tom Kratman are doing the timeline. I'm contributing a story. There's a bunch of other, David Van Dyke, a bunch of really big name military history guys who are all contributing stuff. And it's just going to be a blast. I'm really happy because, Riding the Red Horse was something that I created because I admired There Will Be War so much. Jerry Pournelle's There Will Be War from the 80s. And the ironic thing was I contacted him several times, Jerry Pournelle, and he said, I really would like to revive There Will Be War, and he just never got back to me. And then after I got him to contribute something to Riding the Red Horse, I sent it to him, and he said, I really like what you did with Riding the Red Horse. Maybe we should revive There Will Be War. And I just said, yes, sir. I think that's a wonderful idea. And so we did, and we've published most of the old ones. I think we've got 2 to go. And then we already published volume 10, a new one, and I'm working on putting together volume 11 with Dr. Pournelle now. So, Dr. Pournelle, I hope that I am half as busy as he is at 81 years old. I mean, the man is a machine. He's amazing. I have utmost respect for him. If you want to look at a great role model, the guy's 81. He's had a stroke. His wife has had some health issues, and he just keeps powering right on. Unbelievable. The guy is one of those war horses or work horses that they'll pull it in the harness until he drops, and I think that's amazing. I totally plan to do the same. So, getting back to the war on the media, you need to keep in mind that the media is now irrelevant. We don't need the media. Right now, I'm able to speak to hundreds of you directly. Tens of thousands of you come and read the blog. There's hundreds of thousands that are now reading Infogalactic and Gab and so forth. Well, not that many more in my replays. Cernovich's replays, yes. My replays, there's like another 1,000. Worried that they will shut it down, Periscope or Twitter. I mean, I'm already kicked off of Twitter, or I'm not kicked off, but I'm already not using it. Will they shut down? Will they shut down Periscope? I don't care. We're already getting Gab TV going. We had over 400 people the last time I was on Gab TV. How many do we have now? I mean, I know my number is wrong, but it says 146. So, maybe there's more than that, but so what? We don't need. That's why alt tech exists. We don't need Wikipedia. We don't need. So I mean, there is about a few less people here tonight than were on Gab TV the other night. So what do I care if they kick us off? Gab TV does not have alerts yet. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm still here, other than the fact that I also want to be able to reach out to people who are not on Gab. But Gab is a work in progress, just like Infogalactic is a work in progress. How many of you have checked out Infogalactic News yet? I'm using an iPad mini. How many of you have you seen Infogalactic News yet? Okay, good. That is brand new. We introduced it on Monday. We haven't even started using our regular editors yet, who are going to be doing most of the editing. I've been doing the morning editing. The lead editor has been doing the afternoon editing. We're barely, using it, getting it going. So it's only going to get better. We're working hard on sorting out the bugs, getting the new features in. I'm glad that you think it's good, and I'm glad that you are starting to use it as a news aggregator. Oh, it needs more than a phone-friendly layout. It needs an app. It needs all kinds of stuff. But that's so incredible. You can watch something like this while you're snowboarding. Amazing. Anyhow, what a great time to be alive. But the thing is that it's all alt tech is just beginning. Infogalactic News. It's news.infogalactic.com. What's happened to Drudge is the same thing that happens everywhere. The original founder is busy, and then the person who came in to help him, Andrew Breitbart, moved on, and so now you're basically on, like, it's kind of like a sitcom. You know how like sitcoms always get stupid and then they end. They jump the shark and they end. It's because the people who are actually writing the show, who wrote the show originally, are gone, and their replacements are gone, and now you're on like the G team, and so I suspect that Big Bang is definitely circling the sharks and so forth. And you can just look at the credits and you can see it's not the same people doing it. And so, Drudge, I think, Drudge is so successful. We don't get one 10,000th of the traffic they get yet. And yet, if you look at the two things, you could actually argue that Infogalactic News is already more useful and easier to use and more up to date than Drudge is. So, but the word has to get out there. Tell your friends about it. Give it a try. We will keep making it better, but we're going to keep it clean. We're not going to turn it into Drudge Part 2. Basically, we figured that 11 stories is about all that anybody needs to know at one time. We will keep them updated. The columnists and sites below will probably expand that a bit, but we'll probably never go past, I think the maximum that we'll probably ever do is 5 columns of 15 across the bottom. Reciprocity, I don't know who they is. But I mean, no, we're brand new. So the big story, whoever is the live editor, the morning or the European or American editor, just basically decides. So, oh no, Drudge wouldn't pay any attention to us whatsoever. We're at this point in time way too minor. In fact, Drudge doesn't even pay voxday.blogspot.com any attention. So. You got to get to like they don't even have a link to Mike Cernovich. You have to get to the Milo level or be mainstream media to have Drudge pay attention to you. So, yeah. So I mean, Drudge is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing them in any way. I just think that I just think that it needs to be there's a market for something different, and so. We're providing something different, and it's going to be tied to Infogalactic, and it'll be tied to Infogalactic Rehash. You're going to see all these things coming over the next 3 to 6 months. And then the big changes, the really big changes, you're going to start seeing them in about a year. And so, this is all in the works. This is all happening, and we've got more and more people that are helping make it happen, both on the technical side and the support side. If you want to help us out, then join the Burn Unit, sign up for a monthly subscription, and all that stuff is coming. We're going to go well beyond comments, so it's going to basically be a full Reddit. So look, stop. Oh yeah, I'm going to get rid of this guy. Look, I don't allow people to be monomaniacs on the blog, and I don't permit it here. Okay? If you have a question, go ahead and ask it. If I ignore it, don't ask it again. I ignored it. I'm talking about what I want to talk about, not what you want to talk about. If you want to talk about something in particular, do your own Periscope. It's pretty simple. So I think that we have to continue to support our own. We have to continue. There's a reason why I support Brave. I'm not involved with Brave. There's a reason why I support Gab. I'm not involved with Gab. I support them because they are on our side. And that's what I'm encouraging all of you to do too. If you're going to read a book, don't buy a book. Buy a book from Castalia, or buy a book from an indie. Don't buy a book from the mega corporations that are trying to, rob you of your nation, rob you of sovereignty, and turn you into a corporate slave of the globalists. Yes, they are real books behind me. I don't know Arctos, so I don't have an opinion. What we've seen with the Milo situation is that those big corporate, people have said for years, oh no, corporations, they don't care about anything, they care about making money. Well, that's bullshit. We know, who the globalists are. Come on, don't be a moron. Type in who is a globalist. You'll find out. They are the people who attack nationalisms. When they talk about nationalism being evil, they're a globalist. So, is there a list of institutions to support? No, not really that I know of. I mean, there are obviously a few. No update on Milo. We're waiting to hear what his plans are, just like everybody else. I've been in touch with him a little bit, but mostly just to, say, okay, this person is really starting to be annoying. No, it does not. Well, actually, we tend to prefer print books, but we don't. Whatever suits you is best. If you prefer reading ebooks, buy the Kindle. No updates on the book club. That's got to wait for a little bit for now. I'm glad you like the audiobooks. Our audio director works very, very hard, and he's trying to put out 2 a month, which is pretty crazy, but he's managed to do it so far. And he's been rounding up some good talent. And is this a white man? I'm an American Indian, so no. Let's see. So anyhow, yeah. So that's I guess that's pretty much it. I'll take 2 or 3 more questions if you like, and then we'll wrap it up because I need to get back to my editing. Got plenty to do, and I've got a book that I'm trying to get finished here in a few weeks. So good, glad to hear it. Make sure you review it when you finish it. Reviews matter. That's another way that you can help. If you've read a book and you like it, just take the time to post a short review on Amazon. It makes a big difference. That's why they post the attack reviews and the fake reviews. I don't want to get into Ukraine right now. That's too steep. Trump's next move, I think, is to do something about probably executive orders related to immigration. Yes, the Swedish people will fight back against their government. No, I don't talk to the TRS guys. Example of using SJW against them. Well, when we doxed the guy with the fake review. The movie industry is going to change. China's taking it over. Yes, we're probably underestimating the power of mass media. Next time on Stefan, I don't know, but probably reasonably soon. We usually try to do once a month. What's the best way to say you're a white supremacist without saying I'm not? Tell them that they're a pedophile. Getting into a dialectic exchange with somebody making a rhetorical attack is usually a mistake. Some dialectical responses are good. Like, for example, when somebody accuses me of being a white supremacist, when I point out that I'm an American Indian, they usually retreat very quickly because they don't want to get into that. But it's just as difficult for them to prove they're not a pedophile as it is for you to prove that you're not a white supremacist. You're not, but how do you prove it? So just, and frankly, they are probably, don't ask a question twice. I think I've made that perfectly clear. Will the Chinese make better films than the Jews? In some ways. Okay, no, you cannot be a white supremacist if you're something else. Sometimes the retards try to come back with that sort of thing. Will we understand the Chinese movies? Probably not terribly well. How do I feel about Stefan asks? I think it's a reasonable objective, and so it's a reasonable objective. I don't think it's fair to expect him to. It's great to encourage him to. It's not right to demand that he do so. Simply having said some things that many people find questionable is not grounds to require him to be the pedophile police. Milo has done more to take on pedophiles than practically anyone else. Yeah, but the white supremacy narrative, yes, it's retarded. It's absolutely retarded. Not only am I American Indian, I do not believe in supremacy, period. I'm anti-imperialist. I think that every group of people has unique strengths and weaknesses, and so the idea that whites or Asians or blacks or anybody else is supreme is ridiculous on its face, and so it's just a label. Yeah, they might as well call you a white poopy head. It means nothing. If they call you a name, call the name back. Don't get into a discussion about if somebody called you a poopy head, would you start saying, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not. There's no poop on my head." No, because that they're just throwing names. So throw names back. You know, I've said it many times. If they call you a racist, call them a pedo. If they call you a white supremacist, call them a racist. You know, just never ever get into a rational discussion with an SJW. Now, that one guy I didn't know. Sometimes people have a genuine question in this environment. I can't tell whether somebody is an SJW or not. If I had known he was, I would have just ignored it from the start. No, we don't have race completely wrong. Humans are not merely humans. In fact, all humans are not equally human. For example, only sub-Saharan Africans are fully Homo sapiens sapiens. Asians are a mix of Homo sapiens sapiens and Homo neanderthalis and Homo denisova that we know of so far. Europeans are a mix of sapiens sapiens and neanderthalis. And so we can't even say that all humans are fully Homo sapiens sapiens. So anyhow, that this has gone on quite a bit longer than I expected. So thanks very much for tuning in. We will see you soon. I think we'll probably do one tomorrow around the same time. So, stay strong, support alt tech, and we'll talk to you soon.